My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm viewing Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton. I love the box, which is kind of why I'm showing the box. I think the box is really, really great. I love it. This is £225 for 100 ml. The notes are orange, mint, lemon, blackcurrant, coriander, apricot, basil, carrot seed, May rose, fig, dates, ambre. Do we have our bottles of Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton? Are we engaged with a high self? Let's get tested. And if you've never seen Louis Vuitton, you always get this box, and then inside you get the cat box. I love this. I love the coloring. I think it's really nicely done. Okay, let's look at the atomizer. Nice, wide, dispersive. One thing I wanted to say as well is there is always going to be a similarity between the way a perfumer handles citruses, handles rose, or handles this, or handles that. We think in specific ways, and we will always gravitate towards raw materials that work. I just kind of wanted to put that out there. So I'm imagining this to smell like his other sort of citrus fragrances, the Storm one. I'm just kind of, that's what I'm going into this. I'm also expecting eloquent French for this sort of price, brightness and sillage, absolutely, effervescence. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I know he's a very skilled perfumer. This you can smell is very, very bright and clean, and that is the Ambretolide. Hideo Ambretolide, and he's using the ionones, and this is ionones handled correctly, and he really knows what he's doing. He's obviously incredibly skilled. When I read about this, and sort of I went in thinking I wanted two citruses, I kind of heard about all these sort of herbaceous notes, and I kind of went in with a bit of dread, like herbaceous notes mixed with the sort of the fruit notes. I thought, oh, I don't know if that's going to work, but I think it's working beautifully actually. It's definitely giving sort of summer, definitely smells of holidays. You could definitely wear this on the beach. You could, you know, absolutely. It smells fresh, invigorating, and that is the grapefruit and Vuitton pamplemousse mixed with high amounts of Ambretolide. Ambretolide is expensive. It's one of the more expensive musts. It's giving brightness, clean, fresh, sort of giving you more zest. I think the fruit aspect's been handled really well. I think this is, I would never have sort of put these together. Perfume is like cooking, and sometimes you think, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. But this is working really well. And this is the gamma galactone mixed with sort of these citruses. So I mentioned before, sometimes when you use raw materials like cologne, there's a feminine version of it, which is more expensive. They can smell sulfurous on the skin. And when it's handled correctly at the right concentration, it does not. So this has got cologne in it to absolutely give that sort of like blue sea sort of feel to it. And this is not giving that sort of like a sulfurous. This is giving sort of bright blue, green, exactly like the bottle. It sort of smells like the bottle, a bit peachy, tropical. Just smells of really good quality. It smells very expensive. I would imagine the sillage in this, well, I know I can smell it, so moving my hand is really, really great. What I love about it actually is the peppermint. You've got the carrot seed, you've got the citruses, you've got the basil and the coriander, and the peppermint is just really poking through, giving it cleanness, giving it brightness. Do you know where I think this would be really good? I think this would be really good if you were in a club that sort of stank of sort of cigarettes and sort of all that sort of stuff. And this would give you sort of freshness and would cut against all sort of sweet sort of fragrances as well. I love the peppermint, and sort of, I just think it's just really, really great. I think it's masterfully sort of handled, actually. It's very interesting, quite simplistic, and very unique and very interesting. That sort of gamma galactone mixed with sort of, I just never would have thought about it. Very, very interesting sort of like smell. On to my final thoughts. I think it's really great. I kind of really love it. I'm getting radiance on my skin. I know that if I was to wear this on my clothes, the sillage would be nuts on this. I love the way that this has been handled. I love sort of the ambroxan, the methyl pamplemousse, slight sort of like tropical fruit, gamma galactone. I love the basil, and I love the peppermint. I love all of it, to be honest. I wouldn't change any of it. I think it's been really masterfully handled. And to be honest with you, I think this would be a difficult one to get right, sort of on the percentages, because it smells really, really lovely. The gamma galactone is giving it that sort of like creaminess to it. and the sort of the herbaceous sort of like essential oils are giving it sort of greenery that you want. It reminds me of sort of like tropical sort of like breezes and things. That's really what it sort of make me think of. I think it's really great. I absolutely wouldn't change it. To be honest with you, I wouldn't change anything about it. I think it's just what is kind of blowing my head is kind of the way they've put these raw materials together, which I kind of would be like, oh God, this is going to be a difficult project. If you put all the individual components down and be like, okay, right, this is going to be a challenge. I better sort of clear my diary for a little bit. But it just sort of works. And it's sort of bright, effervescent, clean, interesting smelling. I think a new take on citrus as well. And purely because of sort of the technical ability mixed with sort of the creativity of it and the way it's performing, I'm going to give it a 10. I think it's like really, really great, really amazing. So if you love that review, thumbs up and subscribe. More fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope to stay safe and well. See you soon.